Dr. Fernandez, who's a colleague of mine at UCI, she talks about why psychiatrists prescribe meds and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And then I have another psychologist friend of mine who does a lot of work with learning disabilities, has written a book on how to help kids with learning disabilities. So he's blogging on helping your kids at school, and then another one is psychologist is more the parenting guy.
Very, very exciting. I look forward to this being a non-issue in the next 5 to 10 years, literally a non-issue anymore. I'm also looking forward to hearing about ways to increase dopamine without drugs that we find through a breakthrough maybe in anti-aging science or maybe through the Genome Project. I really think that we're not that far away from it. I'm so glad you're offering hope in this area.
You know, we're finding, some genetic factors that relate to brain functioning. There's some new research on depression that genetic factor that has to do with helping people with stress is, I believe I just read the stuff, I think it's today is lower and makes them more prone to depression. So we are going to be finding things along those lines. I think that the research that we're doing in cognitive training, for instance, at UCLA, they've been working with, I think, people in their 50s using yoga, and they have found that through this, basically the yoga breathing techniques, that they have improved the memory for these folks, and the imaging that they've done there has shown that the hippocampus, which is the part of the brain that's involved with memory, grew.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really fascinating stuff with the new, like I said, the genetic technology and the new imaging technology that we have. It's just been a quantum leap in our understanding of how the brain works, and the goal is to find answers to these that are all these issues that are the most effective and certainly the safest.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking to Dr. Robert Myers, the author of the program Total Focus, a comprehensive program to improving attention, concentration, and self-control in children with learning disabilities and ADHD. He can be contacted by going to kidsadhd.com and also to trytotalfocus.com for the package that you can buy to assist you with your children and your teens. Dr. Bob, is there anything else you'd like to share with us as we close our segment today?
Well, I think what you said at the end is there is hope. I mean, when anybody comes to see me for anything, if I can, by the end of the session, provide them with a sense of hope that this isn't the, losing proposition, that it can be turned around, that is where we need to go. And, with parents with ADHD kids, if you use something like the Total Focus approach, it is going to take a little bit of extra time, but it's well spent. It's just the same amount of time that probably a parent would take in helping their kid to, be the best they can be in music or a sport. So it takes a little bit of extra time, but it's really important. And if you have any doubts about your child because of their problems at school or at home, I would definitely encourage parents, the earlier this gets identified, if it's the case, the better, to talk to their child's physician about their concerns.
Dr. Bob, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. I hope you'll come back with other qualified experts in this area, maybe even from an anti-aging perspective. It would be great to have you and maybe an anti-aging expert on, and maybe a child psychiatrist would be wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this show. We really appreciate your participation. One of the ways that you can make an important and impactful contribution is financially. You participate in our advertising programs, but one of the things you can do right now is to actually send this segment to as many people as you can that you think would be interested in this particular subject in the interview with Dr. Bob. We appreciate you being here, and thank you very much. It's Rainmaking time.